some of the most anxiety-filled 30 seconds of my life. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Project Talk with Glenn and Glenn. I am Glenn from Fun King 3D, and with me is, I don't know where he is. Nadav, I was not 2 minutes late. I was about 30 seconds late, and then you had to wait for the 30-second countdown. So that's about as close to on time as you're going to get. So typically right about here on my table, I have a battery backup that runs the studio lighting, so that if I get a power dip, it doesn't go dark in here. And I was moving some things around and knocked that completely down off of there. My lights are all skewed right now, so I need to adjust those, but I will wait until my brother James gets in here so that he can entertain you for a few seconds while I adjust those lights. So welcome to Project Talk. I appreciate you being here. According to the live-o-meter, there is currently 7 folks watching. Oh, there's a new little icon up there. Oh, it actually shows a connection icon up on the screen now for StreamYard. That's pretty awesome. So we'll run down the chat. Nadav, of course, is here 47 minutes early, so he gets bragging rights for being first. Scott McClellan is here. Alan Osborne. Oh, that Fun King Garage guy is here. That's weird. Sergio HVAC A to Z. I still owe Sergio another banner, so I'm going to dig around, find his banner. I gotta get rid of some of these old banners. So I'm going to throw Sergio up in there as the sponsor already. Oh, I just got a message from Jamie. James, he fell asleep. That's brilliant. Where was I? Ollie is here. Tom Elrod is here. Glenn Hogue is here. Vince is here. And he didn't say anything mean to me this week. That was nice. Thank you, Vince. Mike Redlight is here. And Ryan is here. So, no James. No James. Apparently, James felt that taking a nap is more important. No, I'm just kidding. I know how it goes. So, wow, so much going on. I actually spent, how do I admit this without sounding like a complete disaster? I spent the entire day yesterday cleaning my desk. So my desk, if you watch back to some of my way early videos, which are cringeworthy now, not that these ones aren't, but I have a custom-built, very large wraparound desk that's oddly in the shape of a backwards G. But I built it to fit in the space where I am, and it is a glorious, glorious desk, and I love every bit of it. Sorry, I just got to respond to James so that he doesn't think that I've ignored him or that I'm mad at him. But with a large horizontal surface comes the storage of tons and tons of crap. And I'm sure as makers, at least 95% of you also have that same pain. So it was getting to the point where my workspace was getting smaller and smaller, and then I couldn't find my pen, my favorite pen, and I couldn't find that's my mother calling me live. I just started to lose things. I couldn't find my Post-it notes, and there was just stuff piling up. So I decided yesterday that was going to be my project for the day, was to start to clean. So my desk probably goes, let's see, I sit in the corner like this, and my desk probably goes about this far. I made it to about this far in the whole day yesterday. So I still have to go all the way around. And this part over here is the worst, because that's where like all my tools are, and that's where I do my soldering and that kind of stuff. So So that was my day yesterday, and then today I've spent the majority of the day editing for the video that's coming up Friday on the Garage channel, and I'm actually technically done with it. I love it. I've watched it a couple of times. I still like it, so that's usually a good sign when you watch your own stuff a couple of times and you still enjoy it. But now I'm playing because I'm learning a lot more in Adobe Premiere, and so now I'm playing with some special effects just to have a little fun. So I'm excited, and I hope that you guys all enjoy that video. And then I am going to edit out just a quick video for Fun King 3D. And hey, Shane. Um, and I promise, Xander's Thing Thursday featuring Zach is coming. He's just got a super busy schedule right now. Being in the summertime, he's got camps, and he was doing a meet and greet yesterday to sign autographs and stuff. I'm just making that up. But it's all good. It's all good. It's been super hot here. I mean, I know it's super hot in a lot of places, but it's been super hot here, and I've kind of avoided the garage. UPS did me a boo-boo once again. It's usually FedEx that gets me, but this time it was UPS. Without going into too much detail, I was waiting for a part for the truck that was supposed to be here on Friday. I cannot drive the truck right now. That part did not show up on Friday due to a mechanical error. And even though they deliver on Saturdays, it was supposed to be overnight shipping. And even though they don't deliver, or that they still deliver on Saturdays, it's now not coming until Monday, tomorrow. That makes no sense to me. So the truck is kind of sat. But it's all right. I'll get in there and get that knocked out tomorrow. And I look forward to telling everybody that story in an upcoming video. Not going to spill the beans because that is future content, probably months from now. But the video coming out this Friday, however, is not a Fummins video. It's something unrelated to the Fummins, but it was a lot of fun, and the story behind it's fun too. So Sergio said you should see my workspace. Well, honestly, Sergio, most makers, because of our brain, the way maker's brain works, almost all of us are ADD or ADHD, which I didn't know until about the last year, like really looking into it. And with the ADD and the ADHD comes, I don't like the word hoarding, so comes the mentality of don't throw it away. As soon as you throw something away, that's when you're going to need it. So, and then of course, as makers, we look at something like, I can't even remember what it was. I was unpackaging something. Oh, it was a drive bay for my server, a hot swap drive bay for my server, and it came with this really nice foam inside the packaging. And I thought, I could use this for something. I should hang on to this. And then, like, just in that moment, my brain said, no, if you really need this, you can just go out and buy some later. Just throw it away. I have so much stuff. And by show of hands, I would love to see how many of you hoard cardboard boxes. And I don't think I keep them just because, like, oh, this is a good box. I think I keep them just, it's easier just to chuck them in a corner than it is to break them down and recycle them. But my problem is I have too many hobbies. But again, that comes with ADD. So I don't know if you are ADD or if you know it, but yeah. I also call my unfinished projects hobbies. Alan King says, that's me. My house will burn well. Yeah, so we have a recycle setup. We have a garbage can and a recycle can, and they'll come, but our recycle can fills up so fast. And of course, my boys don't break the cardboard boxes down. They just throw them in there. So it's mostly empty stuff. But every couple of weeks, like 5 or 6, I like to take a load over to the transfer station. They have a dumpster for cardboard, and I break all the cardboard down. And it is amazing. It's amazing how many cardboard boxes that I end up with. Um, Mainly Amazon, good old Amazon. So let me, I got to put on, oh, my glasses are so dirty. It's like I didn't even prepare for this stream. Glenn Hogue said every horizontal surface is a table. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you go back and watch the garage tour again and pay attention, you'll notice that every horizontal surface has got something on it. And in fact, sometimes I'm guilty of, I'll put a piece of plywood on top of one of my big gray rolling garbage cans, and that becomes a workbench for like weeks. But oh, let's see what else is going on. It's not hoarding, it's collecting. That's right. I definitely prefer the C word over the H word. Brian asked if I was going to rename it for Zach. I am not. It is actually still going to be called Xander's Thing Thursday, featuring Zach, just to carry on Xander's legacy. He built that franchise. So, and his brother is now going to take it over. Plus, the theme song is amazing. The guy who did it doesn't do them anymore. And it says Xander's Thing Thursday in the theme song, and I really don't want to screw up the theme song. So, but Zach is okay with it. Xander is super excited about it. That's how I'm going to run with it. So, Vince said, "Oh boy, I always think I can use them to box other things into them." Yes, absolutely. You're like, hey, this is a perfect size box for if I ever ship a widget, and then you never end up needing it. So it's fine. It's fine. Holly said, I throw my boxes away eventually, but then new boxes arrive. Yes, always. Like just this constant inflow. I get a new one from Ocala every month. If Amazon did not brand the boxes, they could be reused. Oh, I still reuse Amazon boxes. I've sent stuff back to Summit Racing in Amazon boxes. I don't care. I've been laser cutting a bunch of cardboard for kid camp projects. That's pretty awesome. That's a good upcycle use of it. No James yet. I got to keep checking because he'll pop in and then I won't see him. Oh, Rover's here. Hello, Rover. Uncle Ron is also in the house. Brian said, preach it, Glenn. That's the hard part of making yourself move on. Well, I have, and those of you who watched the garage tour video, seen it. They've seen the mess. So I'm bringing you in, James.
Hello.
Don't say anything dirty. You're live. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my brother from another mother, James.
That
I didn't get
that
to
was
do
embarrassing. Did you tell people I am late?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said that you felt taking a nap was more important than hanging out with us.
It wasn't even. I didn't even intend to take a nap. Kay was going for a nap, and I laid down beside her for 5 minutes, and then I woke up, and it was like 4:34.
Oh, I have been there on more occasions than I care to admit, and I'll tell you, it gets worse as you get older.
Oh,
It gets,
I just
it
gotta
gets,
stop getting older then.
yeah, it gets real bad when you're real old. Ask Uncle Ron. Uncle Ron's probably in better health than I am. So
Not enough USB controller resources. USB controller resources have been exceeded. The controller does not have enough resources for this device. Apparently, I've got too many things wired up at this point.
wow, I didn't even know that's possible.
I've got 2 cameras, a capture device, the headset,
That's it?
I think so.
That's not a lot.
Let's go take a look at Device Manager. I had so many things planned for today too. It was gonna be a good day.
I don't currently have my overhead camera, but I used to have 3 webcams, the capture device, my speakers, my Stream Deck, a card reader, my keyboard and mouse.
My keyboard does not work.
Wow.
I guess the keyboard has a built-in sound card. It is not an old computer. Well, I mean, it's a second generation Ryzen, so it's not.
The keyboard has a built-in
Sound card. Yeah. Let me see. So it's the G510. I might as well blow up my regular image because I want to be able to show the back of it.
That's really weird.
I didn't even realize that when I bought it, to be honest. I thought it was audio pass-through. It's the G510S, and I thought it had audio pass-through because it's got headphone and mic connector.
Yeah.
And it's actually a full-blown standalone sound card.
Interesting.
Yep. You guys can see what a mess everything is behind. Well, it's a terrible mess, but
Uncle Ron said, "Sorry, I was napping." Yeah, it gets worse.
now I'm trying to find Device Manager without being able to type because I've gotten so used to Windows 10. It's like, oh, this is what I want. I just type in DEV. Now let's do System. No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Devices.
I can't help you. I'm not touching anything I'm not supposed to today. I don't want it all to go down. So I have a fun story to tell. Back in the day, way back yonder, when Xander was actually into 3D printing, I constantly gave him a hard time about his headphones always laying around. I said, "Why don't you design and 3D print a hanger for your desk to hang your headphones off of?" "I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that." This went on for like a year. I bugged him about it. Yesterday, I designed and 3D printed a headphone hanger for my headphones so that they don't lay around. Alan King said, "My wife does not let me sleep during the day. She says I will not sleep at night. Then I don't sleep at night." I have that same problem. Like, I intentionally don't take naps during the day so that I will sleep at night, and yet I don't sleep well at night.
I found Device Manager. I did this thing where I clicked around endlessly until I found it.
Excellent. Brian said, "I also have a cool tool collection." I am quite blessed. I'm quite blessed. I have acquired a massive amount of tools over the years. Not necessarily as many as others. And like, I watch some YouTubers who go to these industrial auctions, which I really wish there was more around here, but we don't really have much industry in Florida. But they always come home with some sweet stuff. But I've ended up with, like, I bought an enclosed trailer years ago, and part of the deal of me buying it was I wanted all of the stuff that was in it as well, which the previous owner who had it had a cabinet shop, so it had all kinds of tools in it, so I have duplicates of a lot of things. In fact, Uncle Ron was here one time, and he looks up on my shelf and he's like, "Oh, I want to get one of those router tables." And I'm like, "Whoop, here you go."
Joke's on you. I didn't want to have to deal with it.
Well, I had two little router tables, a big router table, and then a bigger router table that I built. So it's like, whew, it was time for stuff to go. And that takes us back to my project yesterday of cleaning off the desk. I've finally, because I'm so tired of dealing with the mess that's in the garage, I am starting to build the mentality of, it's got to go. I mean, I've even considered bringing in a dumpster and just, but Chris Lane from Venturi 3D has slipped in. If anybody else slipped in, I might have missed you. So
speak now or forever hold your peace.
And if you're just lurking in the background and you want to just throw us a quick hi, you don't have to chat, but we always like to know that you're back there. So, and I could do the math. I could count the people that are there versus what StreamYard says, but that's just way too much work.
Do you know what happened to me this morning or possibly last night? The times kind of blended together. I was on Reddit and I was reading something that had nothing to do with automobiles. And it was somebody had posted a picture, and it was from out in the forest, and there's this like structure and there's foam pouring out of it. And it was in the what is this subreddit, so asking people what is this. And this guy is like, oh, lock your peepers onto that, and said something. And I was like, so I responded with, excess foam is often caused by a faulty lightning whirler, so we're going to go ahead and do the right thing and pretend we didn't see that. And somebody finally popped out. I was like, these VGG comments are making me laugh. And I responded with, that stuff smells like baby powder and dead skunk in July. That stuff is thick. I'm not kidding you. It's the first time in my life that I've seen a Vice Grip Garage reference outside of something that's related to automobiles.
Oh yeah. He's quite famous. He's quite famous.
Famous or infamous?
Whatever. My favorite is this smells like rat poop and cinnamon.
So it smells like something a rat would leave after being fed cinnamon.
Yeah, rat. No, mouse droppings and cinnamon, yeah. I believe is what it was.
I have learned once again that the easiest way to find out if you're doing something wrong on the internet is to post it on the internet. The easiest way to find out if you're doing something incorrectly is to post about it on the internet.
That's right.
I found out that the way that I took to fix up and clean that motherboard was not sufficient. So there's going to be a part 2 for my 486 restore.
Well, when you have alkaline leak from a battery and you just clean it off the surface, it's still under the coating. So what you need to do is you need to use a fiberglass pen.
Yep.
Scrape all the coating off. I read those comments too.
So I'm going to do it because I'd rather not risk it, but I don't know that any of it's like seeped in anywhere where it's going to be an issue.
Yeah, it looked like it had worn it thin, but from what I could see, I didn't see anything that looked like it was like down to the board either.
Yep.
But
so I ordered a fiberglass pen, and I will.
And if the person who made that comment is in here watching this, I mean, good on you, but.
Oh, I'm not saying that they're wrong, because like abundance of caution is more important than anything. But yeah, I'm gonna take it down. I'm going to clean the traces. I'm going to re-tin them wherever they're like, or sorry, not re-tin because they weren't tinned to begin with, but I'll tin across them wherever there's damage or they're not as thick as they used to be. And if any are particularly rough, then I'll run a piece of single strand from a good point to another good point, and call it good.
Well, I want to say it was Old Curmudgeon, and if I'm wrong and you're in here, you can tell me, because this was almost 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago. But the comment was made on my last Fummins video about amazement that I use a torque wrench so often. And truth be told, I don't use a torque wrench that often.
You just want to look like you're doing it right on camera.
I do it in the video so that I don't take heat for it. And it's not that I'm faking it. Like the bolts that I'm torquing in the video, I really am torquing to proper spec. Now, like a lot of the bolts on the Fummins, like they called it out. This needs to be torqued to 44 foot-pounds. And Cummins motors are notorious for rattling loose. So yeah, I torqued a lot of that stuff. But like when I'm working on suspension and stuff, on Sean's video, you don't see a torque wrench come out from any, any of that. I mean, maybe a couple of things, but
I just figured you didn't care about Sean's vehicle.
But I'll tell you, when I work on my mom's car, everything is torque wrench.
So this is kind of silly, but it's an upgrade that I'm going to be building myself and adding. Do you know the one thing that's lacking from my my 486? Something that I think was quite essential to. Sorry, give me a second. I'm trying to resize my screens and it doesn't want to do it. You.
Well, I mean, being my very first PC that I ever had, like my first PC, was a 486 DX33.
You mean like this one?
What I would say that is missing is a $500 CD-ROM drive.
Okay, so it is getting a CD-ROM drive, and
It
it is
has to
getting a
be a
sound card.
1X.
I don't have a 1X, but do you want to see the one that I picked up for it?
Yes.
Let me see if I can figure out where it got put in the shuffle. Give me 2
Because
seconds.
the one I bought was the kind, and I forget the brand. I think it was a Mitsumi, but you push the front and it would click, and then you'd slide the thing out and lift the lid on it.
Oh yeah, it had a tray.
No tray. It was a tray, I guess, technically.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't mechanized all the way out. It just kind of released almost like a laptop CD-ROM.
You pushed in on it, it would click, and then you'd slide like almost the whole entire drive out, and then the top would pop up. I'm gonna have to see if I can find it. I have.
Oh, I know. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about now. It's the lid spring loaded upwards.
Yeah. It just like the whole drive came out, and then the lid, and you put the disc in, close the lid, slid the whole thing back in.
Give me 2 seconds because things got shuffled around here, but it's in here. So I don't know if you know this, but I'm constantly looking for old stuff. I'm just kidding. I know that you know that.
Well, I will tell you this: if and when the day ever comes that I get to send you a box with your knives in it, or if I see you in person before then,
Could be. Maybe one day.
I have some stuff for you.
Well, I like stuff. I'm afraid I don't have an automotive pass to be able to help you pad your stuff.
Right, like Mike said, let him know if you need parts. He may have some.
I almost always need parts. Okay, so ooh, that's
Well, that's weird.
this one's fine though. I'm gonna deactivate and reactivate the camera, and maybe it'll. That's glitchy. That looks to the point where it's like a film. It looks like it's a film special effect.
Well, you could drop out and reboot real quick.
There we go. Okay, so I picked up a box, and one of the reasons I picked it up is that it had a bunch of old optical drives in it. Oh, it's glitching again, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, let's do this and this. And I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to drop the resolution of my face cam down to 720p, just in case it's a bandwidth issue. I'll do that, and then we'll bring back this guy. So far, so good. These are desperately in need of cleaning. I haven't done anything with them yet, but I've got this guy here. Oh, that's a 10. Sorry, that's not the one I want. That's a 10 to 24 speed. That's far too new. So I've got this guy. That's an Acer regular optical drive, manufactured 1996, and I got it specifically because it has the 6X written on it.
Wow.
See, by the time I started buying optical drive, you could tell if the drive was a cheap optical drive because it had the speed printed on the front of it. All the budget ones had like 24X or whatever, and then you're in. It's like, well, it's really a 10 times optical drive, but like it spins up as fast as a 24 drive.
24X max.
Yeah. So there's that one, and then there's also, because this one stylistically I like better. Let's see, is there a manufacturing date on this guy? I don't see. Might be 99. No, I feel like that's too late. Anyways, it's an 8X drive, but look at the front of that.
This is the drive that I had.
Second, I got to bring up. I've only got one display.
I mean, I still have it. I just
You know, it's funny. My very first, like my parents' very first computer looked very similar to the one that's ejecting out of, except for it was an IBM.
well, what's crazy is I paid over $500 for it, and they only came. I paid extra to have a black computer built because nobody had black computers back then. So, but you could
There's
only
Glenn being cutting edge again.
that's right. You could only get that drive in beige. So I had a
So you
bright
had a
beige.
black computer with a beige case.
Yeah,
Or a
with
beige
bright
optical drive.
CD-ROM drive. Yep.
This is a Behavior Tech Corp 8X optical drive, and it is twice as heavy as the other ones. Yeah, I don't see a like. There's codes on here. One of them should be a date code, but I can't figure it out. With how heavy it is, and it being an 8X drive, but me being able to hold up a 6X drive from 1996, I can't imagine this one was made in 99. I can't imagine it's 3 years newer. But it certainly would need the least amount of cleaning to just slip right in there and be quite happy. So
yeah, what's the interface on? Is that IDE?
It is in fact a TAPI IDE.
See, I don't think mine was. I think mine had a controller card.
Lots of them did, and then Creative started blending their controller cards into their sound cards. So
That's right.
You get a Creative card that's got like 3 different interfaces taxed onto the back of it, so they could ship it with different stuff. I might as well show you guys the sound card I'm gonna stick in here while we're at it. Seeing as my original plans kind of got shot by me catching napatitis.
Napatitis.
Let's see.
Mike's yelling at you. Tell me what you want.
I'll tell you what I want. What I really, really want.
What you really, really want?
And that's as far as I'll go because I don't want you to get the copyright strike. Okay, so back in the day, you used to have a separate card just for audio. And top of the line in that field was Creative sound cards. And here I have, I'm double checking to make sure I get it right because I think it's an AW32.
Oh, that's too new for that computer.
But so I have a bunch of, well, no, this is from 92. It's got 92 and 93 on the thing, so it's not that far off.
But as you can
see, Creative Panasonic interface, Mitsumi interface, and Sony interface.
Yeah.
And then I think you could also switch. There's a jumper. You could switch it to other, and I think it would turn this into IDE.
Are those 72-pin DIMMs in there?
No, 30.
Okay, they are 30-pin.
They're the same size as what's in the computer for actual memory.
Yeah, I just can't because I want to say that the when I bought my machine, the best card you could get was the Sound Blaster Pro, which came with Dr. Spatzo. Do you remember Dr. Spatzo?
I don't remember Dr. Spatzo.
It was a simulated doctor, a therapist, and it would say, you know, this is Dr. Spatzo from Creative Labs. Please enter your name. You put in your name, and then it would say, hello, whoever, you know, what kind of problems are you having? And you could have a chat with this bot. And of course, at the time, that was just unbelievable.
These are also back to a time when you had to set jumpers to say what DMA channels it was going to use, what IRQ it was going to use.
Yep.
Yeah. So I have a bunch of Sound Blaster Vibras, but my memory is that they weren't as good as the 16 and the 32. So I think I'm going to stick with this guy because where else am I going to use this card? I mean, look, first of all, it's massive. It's like the length of the case. Yeah. So I've got the optical drive. I've got the sound card. Then I've got This pack of each one of these is 4 megs, 32 or 30 pin RAM.
Nice.
That'll put us up to a total of 20 because I'll be able to keep 4 of the RAM in there, 4 megs of RAM in there that's in there now. These are nice, recently built purple PCB. And somewhere I have a new CPU as well. That's a DX266. Here.
Yep. I remember when I got my DX266 and like I was so excited because I could just pop my 33 out of there and pop that right in.
Yeah, because it was the same jumper settings on most boards for the 33 and 66. Yep. Mike, you know what I need? I need a 486 socket 3 motherboard that uses one of the Intel chipsets, because this uses the Opti chipset, and it's a little limited in terms of CPU stuff. And here's the other thing I've discovered since doing that video. Maybe I discovered it beforehand, but I didn't include it in the video. The 33 megahertz processor in this thing is actually only running at 25 megahertz. So the board does, according to the documentation, support a up to the 66, with the 33 and 66 being interchangeable. But the jumper, like the pins that you use to set the CPU speed, are not populated on the board, so they're hard locked to the 25 megahertz / 50 megahertz. So I tested this chip in it, and it runs, but it runs it at 50 megahertz instead of 66. So the other upgrade, the one that I'm building myself, the thing that's missing, the most important thing for any 46 build, is the little LCD that tells you how fast the processor's running.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got, this was supposed to be the project for today. I'm going to see if I can still tackle it. I've got an Arduino Uno, which I'll swap out for a smaller board, but for testing purposes. And I've got a 2-segment display. So I want to build code essentially that it's going to read the 5 volts that goes to the turbo LED. And when it's on, it'll display, in this case, because it's going to be codable, I'll set it so it'll say display 25 megahertz when turbo's on and 10 megahertz when it's off. And I also, since I'm going to be using code, I'm going to have it, you push the turbo button and turn it on. It does 10 and then it ramps up to 25. So it does a count up rather than just immediately switching to. And then because I don't want to destroy the case, I'm going to design and 3D print a 3 1/4 bay bracket that goes underneath here. So nice. I'll be able to mount it because I don't want to cut an actual hole in the case. There's there's no real nice place to do it either. So, but yes, this is the main upgrade. That's what everybody needs.
So what I need
is a hug.
It's not, well, yeah, always, but it's not nearly as old as what you're working on. But I need 2 of these. If anybody comes across these, this is actually, it's server RAM, but it's not registered. It's just it's ECC RAM. My server in the house it's a little old. It's a little old, but it's fine. It does its job. But it's currently running 16 gigs of RAM, and it is capable of carrying 24 in ECC. And it has 2 more slots. I would love to put 2 more of those in if anybody gets a run on those. I found them online for $20, and I thought, okay, I'll buy them for $20. And then I went to get them, and they were sold out. So there are some on eBay, which I know is a little risky because they could be bad, but I may go that route. But if anybody's got those laying around.
That sound card is huge, but it's not just the size of it. It's also what I plan to do with it.
That sound card is huge.
So, I mean,
it's not the size of your sound card. It's how you use it.
Well, there was, do you remember this? I think it was the Scary Movie franchise, all the ones they did where it was parodies of horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
I just remember there's a clip where there's this guy screaming and he's like, "It's not the size of the hammer, it's the nail you're throwing it at." And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. And that's as far as I'll go on a family-friendly channel.
Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to
So
share
which
this.
optical drive would you use if you were me? Well, actually, it's just the top two, the 6X one, which needs some cleaning but could be restored, or the 8X one.
Well, I mean, at the point that you're not using a 1X, which would be appropriate for that time, I'm not even sure when the 2Xs came out, but I don't think it was right away. I mean, you might
Probably
as
not.
well use the best of those three. And by best, I mean whatever one looks the nicest, because they're all going to operate about the same.
I think the 8X will be because that's the thing is like with a 46 the optical drive is not even going to have DMA mode or anything like that, so I think the actual speed of it's going to be pretty limited.
Sorry, this picture's a little late. Mark sent this over. This is all of the cardboard that he's been laser cutting.
Well, it looks good.
I'll read the caption to you in just a minute because I can't show you both. He said laser cut parts and 3D printed badges with magnets. It's pretty awesome.
How do magnets work?
Magic.
I need to find.
I had a laser cutter. I sure wish I had time to film a video about a laser cutter.
I'm in a bit of a pickle this way too. So I bought myself that nice new soldering iron, and as you know, with most soldering irons, the actual soldering wand, soldering whatever, that is detachable. So when we were cleaning down here, Kay detached it from the base, and they ended up in two separate spots.
Oh no!
So I found the base, which is essentially less
Useless.
than.
Oh,
yep.
You're not doing any soldering with that.
So I'm just poking through stuff here, hoping that it's going to turn out, because I just realized now, I thought this was going to be a nice, easy project, a nice little programming project to do during the stream. There are, on the display, no pins.
Oh,
They didn't come pre-populated with pins. So I'm going to be demanding double my money back for the inconvenience.
That's right.
I won't get any, so I won't get anything back at all, so I might as well demand double. Well, I found the stand for the wand. That's
yeah,
like.
But that part is completely useless. You can't do any soldering with that.
I mean, if I use a torch to heat it up really, really hot, maybe. I should ask, do you guys think I should quit YouTube?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna quit YouTube then. Should I leave the ESA Ultra 486 sticker on there, or should I replace it with one of my Print and Play badge stickers?
You should replace it with a CBS computer sticker.
No, that wasn't one of the options.
I don't know if I have like, one or two, but I don't think I have any spare ones left anymore. That was a completely different time in my life.
The other day.
Keep chatting. I want to go look for something. I'll be right
back. Of course, he does that right when I have nothing to say. Like, I have had nothing to say for the basically entire time that I've been streaming.
I would sing the whole. Wow, my batteries! I just put new batteries in this thing, and it's showing that they're dead. I'm gonna have to change them anyway. I could sing the whole time, but then I get demonetized.
I mean, I don't know that you sing well enough for it to recognize.
Oh no, but they would demonetize me based on how bad I sing.
It's like, yeah, we don't know what you were trying to sing, but we're pretty sure it was no good for us. So. Where are you, soldering iron?
I'm glad I looked at that. My batteries would have been dead in no time. All right, I'll be right back.
I'll be right here, most likely. Unless I quit. Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Okay, so we're talking about our projects, but what's everybody in chat been working on? I know that Builder's Mark, I believe, is doing laser cutting because we just saw the pictures. And it was clearly some things that have been cut by a laser. This is how Glenn actually quits the stream. He just says be right back and then just never actually comes back. I'm not gonna lie, I'd laugh. Bear with me for a moment, ladies and gents. Oh, that's cool. A kids camp. You've got all the tools to make it fantastic. Just think about how far that stuff's come in the past little while, you know, the ability to make these custom projects and stuff. That's pretty impressive. Showing kids stuff that they would never have gotten access to 10 years ago. Definitely one of the coolest things is being able to come up with a project idea and then make it real. And it doesn't need to be a big scale project anymore.
Entertain the people, don't ignore them.
What was that?
I said entertain the people, don't ignore them.
I was talking most of the time you were gone.
I couldn't find what I was looking for, so it'll have to wait.
I still
I didn't want to be
haven't
gone too
found.
long. It's hard to do this by yourself. Alan King said he's trying to program an ESP8266. Cleaning my desk yesterday, I found 3 of those that I forgot I had.
I've found one since I started digging today. Like just now. Isn't that funny?
Michael Cassell says he's doing the dishes. That's pretty sad.
I just found an 8266, but when I need one later, I won't remember where it is, so I'll just end up ordering another one.
That's right.
And then I'll wonder why I have 15 of them.
But you'll always have an extra one that way. So I'm thinking about doing a large print for my wall back here.
Okay.
And I'm thinking about doing it as a community project.
Oh, kind of like we did for the, what was that, Earth?
Yeah. Earth, the Friday night 3D printing.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh. But I want to do like, I'm thinking maybe hexagon tiles, and I'm not going to make them real thick. Maybe only like, 12 or 13 millimeters thick.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then have them snap together like puzzle pieces so that I can have a thing on the wall to put my logo on. But I thought that would be cool if it was a community project and everybody could contribute and, printing their favorite filament in whatever color they want. And
then people can be part of it. They can tune in to say hi to their piece every week.
They can be like, I printed that. Michael Cassell said, Glenn just doesn't like my banner. I love your banner, brother. That banner has carried me through how many years now? Almost 5?
All good things must come to an end.
Well, it won't come to an end. It'll come to going to
just realized I'm probably pointing my butt right at the camera. Yep.
Yeah, but it's tiny. I mean,
it's not as big a deal. It's neither large nor in charge.
Ryan says he's making the wiring on the Ender 3 V2 safer and better.
How do you make the world's best printer, highest quality, safer and better than perfect? I don't understand.
Michael Cassell says, "Oh, has it been that long?" Yeah, I've been doing YouTube since 2017, May of 2017. So I'm over 5 years now. Now I don't remember how long it was that I was in the old area, but I wasn't into the new area very long before you sent me that banner. So somewhere I have a mailbag Monday that has me opening it.
We can use
Brian,
this one.
I'm curious. Is your YouTube on delay?
I don't think so. Why? Oh, is somebody asking you that?
No, I'm curious on Brian's.
Oh,
Or I mean, he might just be bringing stuff up. Just because, like back when you were talking about the sound card, he had mentioned it was large, but it was later. So I just don't know if he's running behind. So let's do a test. It is right now 5:23. Of course, typical. Well, and that's Eastern. Well, Brian's in New York, so that would work. But typical YouTube delay is about 30 seconds.
yeah.
I'm just curious. Just curious. I hate when I'm watching a live stream and then I kind of forget and I hit the pause button to do something and I come back and play and then I'm behind.
You're commenting and stuff, and you're like, why aren't they acknowledging my brilliant comments?
Why aren't anybody reacting? Why isn't anybody reacting to my Vice Grip Garage quotes? Alan says he keeps seeing a stall on my feed. Let me check my speeds.
The needs for speeds.
Let's see. My ping time is 21, so I got a good ping time. I'm running 300 megabits per second down. We'll find out what the ups are. And again, it could be like so the little icon for StreamYard is telling me my connection's unstable, but oh yeah, my upload's in the toity again.
Oh yeah, you're pixelated right now.
Right.
I've been glancing up, but I hadn't stopped to actually like watch for an extended period of time when you were saying you're having issues, and I was like, oh no, you look fine.
I love that. I wonder if I kill my connection completely, do I stay connected or do I go away?
What do you mean? Which connection?
If I unplug my network connection.
I'm pretty sure that would disconnect you, but
Well,
I'm
thinking about doing it. I'm thinking about doing it so that I can run the cable out right to the switch.
Oh, just to see if it's a.
Yeah. So if I get dumped, I'll be back. I mean, I'm going to get dumped, but I'll be back. Entertain the people.
I'm not very entertaining though. That's the real problem. Nobody wants to tune in for me.
Well, I should tell you before I go.
And we never saw Glenn again. But that's fine. As you guys see me digging all sorts of garbage out. One of these days I will be properly prepared for a stream before it starts, but that day is not today. Parents always need something from me. Ugh. There's so much stuff that got stuffed in here. I mean, okay, I guess I could use this. Go back to my old El Cheapo soldering iron. Be good enough. Once Glenn gets back, I gotta go find pins to actually solder into place. Hey, look, a copy of Age of Empires Gold Edition. Yeah, we did a 10-second tidy a little while ago, and now I can't find any of the important stuff I need.
And then he said, wrecked him, darn near killed him.
Hey-o.
We'll see if this makes any different. So I know that this machine, it's got 2 onboard NICs, and one of them is cooked. Yeah, see now my upload is like 17, which is better, but it's not great. So I got to figure out what's going on. But hopefully that does a little better.
Frick, figure it out.
Just get on it.
Give your shirt a tug.
Let's see if my chat is back live.
Live-ish, even? We'd settle for live-ish at this point?
Call technical support. Yeah, I need to call IT guy. Brian says, that means I've been here since the beginning. Well, it's much appreciated. I go back and watch some of the old stuff, and it just makes me cringe.
The new stuff does that to me.
The stuff you haven't even made yet?
The stuff I haven't even made yet. Just thinking about it makes me cringe.
Well, I think you missed when I was talking about my editing for this week's video, and I said I am really, really pleased with the way it came out. And after watching it 40 times while editing and still to be pleased with it, that's a good sign.
That is a good sign.
So
I can't wait to just poop all over it for you. Tell you how bad it is.
Brian says it's 5:30. It is 5:30, so he's not delayed.
That's good. Maybe he was delayed and he's fixed it. Now he's acting like we're the problem.
Well, we are the problem. There's no acting there. And you know what I was thinking today? I got to get hold of Rennie, Tinkerdork, or I guess now Renee, because I'd still like to really commission him to do my stained glass, because I have a perfect window for it now.
And she does really good work.
Absolutely magnificent. And then hands it over to USPS, who promptly
destroys it.
Just crushes it. Yeah, I was going through some old photos. I was starting to organize my photos. I have a piece of software that I bought 100,000 years ago, maybe 101,000 years ago. It's called Sifter 32. And it's it is an old program, like Windows 95 old program, but it runs with it doesn't require any support files. So you don't have to install it. You can just run it.
Right.
And what it does for you, and maybe somebody knows of a newer alternative, not that this one works bad, it just looks awful. But what you do is you set up what's called targets, and then you feed it your image directory, and it shows you the first picture, and then you click the target where you want it to go. So if it's a 3D printing picture, I can click on 3D printing, and you can create the targets on the fly, and it just lets you organize all of your photos that way into subfolders, because right now they're all just spewed into one big folder, and I have a heck of a time finding anything.
Right.
So, and I mean, you can break it down as much as you want. So typically what I do is every 10 years when I do this, I set up some targets, like about 10 different targets, and I organize them. And then I go into each one of those and set up sub targets for that. So like my 3D printing in the first go round gets everything 3D printing related. And then when I go into that, then I do like, Murph and Earth, and and then I start to organize it that way. So, but if anybody knows of a decent image organization, I guess, software, I couldn't really find anything out there that
met your
otherwise I'm just
criteria.
going to continue to use this really old software and
Be miserable half the time.
it's really not miserable. It's just, I don't know. I think it could be a little faster. I think the software could be faster, but
Just write your own.
Brian said, also, Glenn and James, if you responded to what I typed, you're going to have to, oh, no. Nope. You want to know what I said? You go back and watch the stream all over again.
That's how we get all the extra views.
Listen, if it happened 3 seconds ago, I don't remember it.
Repost your questions and we'll re-answer, but we can't guarantee the answers will be the same as the previous answers that we
Right.
gave you.
I might have different thoughts now. I may have different opinions than I did 10 seconds ago.
Oh, it's almost a given.
My glasses are really dirty and they won't come clean. Maybe my eyeballs are dirty.
Well, oh, there it is. I was literally about to say, well, I give up. I can't figure out what happened to my my soldering wand, and then now I have to figure out where I put the frickin' base.
It's right there.
I mean, sorry, the power base, like the
one with the variable temperature and stuff.
Yep. I'll just wire 110 volts right into here. I'm pretty sure it'll heat up.
Does it not have just a plug on the end, like a regular plug?
This? No, it's
Oh, see, mine is just a regular plug, and then it plugs into the base, and the base plugs into the wall, but the base is a rheostat.
Gotcha. I'm sure that that's the way this one could have. Well, no, there's a thermistor and stuff too, I think, that reports back on this guy. But anyways, the important thing is we survived. I found a bunch of stuff that I am going to need. Check out this janky looking flight control.
Nice knockoff Thrustmaster.
That totally uses the 15-pin connector, so I can use it on my 486.
Nice.
So
back some time ago.
Back in the day.
Quite some time ago. Yeah. I used to do computer work for Martin Marietta. And if you're not familiar with who that is, they are a government contractor that makes and manages very special things for the military. Like,
sorry, what's a military?
So I had to go and work on a printer for them. It was a dot matrix printer, wide format. I don't remember the brand anymore, but it had stripped a belt in the middle of a 17,000 page report. And they could not break the paper. If they tore the paper to get the cover off the printer, they would have to reprint the whole entire report. And again, this is dot matrix days. So it's, you can imagine how long 17,000 pages would take.
A couple of hours anyways.
So I had to go out there and I had to figure out what had happened to the printer. And then once I knew what it was and I ordered the belt, I had to take 2 other technicians with me and unscrew the cover of the printer and lift it up with the paper still going through the cover of and it was a steel, like the top of this thing was steel. It wasn't a plastic printer. And they had to hold that lid up.
We're losing you again. Unless that was just me. Yeah, I can't understand anything you're saying. Exactly.
That was me acting again.
Acting!
My download is good. It's just the upload is.
I'm going to lower this down a little bit just so that I can show you right at my nose.
All right, so it's saying that I got like 13 megabits, but how do I sound now?
You sound okay. You're still a little pixelated, like a.
No, I don't care what I look like. So maybe I need to let me kill some stuff in the background. But anyway, the point of that story was once I fixed that printer and didn't break their report so that they could continue printing it, they were thrilled. And so the guy, like, we were just chatting and stuff, and he's like, "Hey, I want to show you something." And I'm like, "Okay." So he took me into their warehouse, which is what this location was. It was a parts house, and like he was just showing me all of this crazy stuff. And he reaches up on the shelf into this bin and grabs this thing and pulls it out and hands it to me. And it was the actual flight stick for a Huey helicopter. And it was, like the Thrustmaster with all the buttons and the hats and he's like, "What do you think of that?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is awesome. I like this." And he said, "That's $150,000.
I thought you're going to tell me he gave it to you as a souvenir for saving their butts.
No, that would have been awesome, but no, it was but he did. He showed me all kinds of cool stuff, like, switch panels and gauges and all kinds of stuff for helicopters and airplanes. And that report was it was a 17,000 page report on all of the parts and maintenance done to a Huey helicopter that had crashed. So they were trying to cover their butt, I guess. But
CYA, cover their assets.
Yep. Well, maybe, do I still have all my stuff in here? Maybe what I should do, if I have all my goods
and services. Oh, by the way, I found everything for my soldering iron. I just realized that my head was in the way. Thanks, Glenn. Thanks for letting me know.
That your head was in the way?
The entire time I was soldering that, right? Okay, guys, this is what I did. I put pins through it, and then I used my soldering iron to melt solder into them, just like this.
Dang it! I was gonna make a new cable, a new network cable, and see if that was my problem. But
here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna see if I can extend this a little bit further. Mortgage extension.
I must have taken all my computer stuff back out of here. Well, that stinks. How long can you entertain the people?
5-6 seconds, easy.
All right. Well, I'll take 6 seconds. I'll be right back.
So I've got my pins now soldered into place on this guy. So now we just need to actually connect it to the board, which unfortunately all I found was these male-to-male jumper wires. And male is good for here, but I need female on this side. So, I don't think these are going to be long enough to do what I need them to. Unfortunately. I'm a little low on Arduino assets. I'll wait till Glenn gets back. I need 5 of these though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's just us, so I'm not worried about being judged. I can always just basically wedge a little piece of solder into each of these and then stick it into the pinhole on the Arduino. I know these guys run on 5 volts. I still have to find a USB cable as well. And then hope it actually works, because now I'm remembering that my computer is complaining that I, in fact, do not have enough USB assets available. Oh. But just wondering. So I need 5 volts. The Uno is kind of neat here because they've got it pre-populated with female connectors, but they've also got solder points here. So I could actually just solder in additional headers off the back, and that would give me my male connections as well. I might do that, to be honest. I got to figure out which pins I need, but I could turn this into my test board and just populate the underneath ones with pins as well. That would be okay. What do you guys think? I think if it comes off the side like that, I can even see which one's linked to what. And that's why Glenn will never succeed at any of the stuff that he tries to do.
You're right. I'm always being brought down. My life is miserable. Listen, so I went to get my stuff to make a new cable, which is all the way in the house and up the stairs, which is also where my other computer is. So I thought, well, I'm in here. I'm going to run a speed test. It's just as crappy in there. And Xander said that he's getting some distortion on Discord as well. So it is
your
my
internet
ISP.
just sucks right now.
Yeah. So I probably need to restart the modem again, but that would be bad now. So I can ride this out for 45 minutes. So if I say something and you feel it was important and my audio breaks up, just let me know.
Will do. So I was just telling everybody the Uno that I've got is interesting. I don't know if they're all like this. It's got female headers pre-soldered here,
Uh-huh.
but it's also got through-hole points, so you can solder stuff directly onto it. So I'm just going to put male headers off the back, and I'll use this one as my test one going forward, and then I can connect male or female components without an issue.
Good plan.
I mean, I don't think I paid a lot for this one. I don't think it's a legitimate Uno.
No, legitimate Unos don't have the holes in them.
So just do a little solderino here.
I'm going to log into my router and see if somebody is using an excessive amount of bandwidth.
Do you see the re-releasing the new the newer Spider-Man No Way Home to theater? And it's the more fun stuff edition, so they're putting in a bunch of more fun footage and stuff into it.
What constitutes more fun?
I think there's a bunch of stuff that involved. I don't know. Can we talk about spoiler stuff now?
That movie's been around for a while.
I think it's pretty common knowledge that there's additional actors in it, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's a bunch of fun stuff that they did that wasn't included in the original release.
Hang on, I gotta mute you. My mother is calling for the third time.
Okay. I'm trying my best not to touch the plastic on these, but every once in a while I get a little waft of a burning ABS, and I'm like, am I printing ABS right now? No? Oh, I must have done goofed. I'm not saying my soldering skills are terrible, but they could always use some improvement. Maybe she's calling to say, hey, we won the lottery. You don't need to do that stupid YouTube anymore. And he's going, well, I want to do YouTube. Glenn always said that if he wins the lotteries, I should pack my bags because I'm kicked out. He'll hire somebody with talent to co-host with him. So I'm trying to decide which hardware for streaming and videos that gets upgraded next. I think an overhead camera that has an analog zoom on it would be good. What do you guys think? I've just got a webcam that's slung onto a holder, but I think you guys would probably appreciate if you could get a little closer to the action. And I can't bring this one down and get it closer to the action without hitting it on my head, so.
You guys are not going to believe this.
What?
My mother just called and said she won the lottery. I don't have to do this crap anymore. I'm out. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, that is.
Alan King said, we're lip reading. You are the talent, James. So I picked up the phone and I said, why do you always call me when I'm live on YouTube? And she's like, what? And I'm like, I'm live 4:30 to 6:30 every Sunday. And she's like, she's probably watching this right now. She's like, it's only 5:45 right now. And I'm like, from 4:30 to 6:30. So I have, I don't think it's a secret. I have a Plex server in my house. And
oh, she's calling to complain about the video quality.
Yeah, so I don't share it to the outside with but a very small handful of people. My mom's one of them, and she was saying like it kept dropping her, and I'm like, don't try to pull anything right now. I'm already having bandwidth issues, so I'm wondering if what was happening was every time that I would get the notification from StreamYard, if it was her trying to turn on some TV.
I would say that's probably a pretty good theory.
Yeah, we only use it for
home movies.
For family movies. I didn't even think about it. I went into the router to see who was spiking, if anybody was spiking the bandwidth. I didn't even think to look to see who was
streaming.
Yeah. So my wife is watching, but she's here, obviously. She hasn't left me yet. And so that doesn't really count against the outside bandwidth. So that's all good. And I updated my Minecraft server yesterday to 1.19. That was pretty exciting because I also updated my world, which took forever. But
I can show you my world.
That's what I was working on yesterday when I decided I needed to clean off my desk. So you missed that whole story too. I mean, you didn't miss much other than my desk was a mess, and I worked.
Now it's slightly less a mess.
I worked all day on it, and now it's this much less mess. But like, the rest of it's still a huge mess.
Yeah, I was so disappointed. I spent all that time getting that Star Trek special effect thing done in that video.
Right.
Not a single comment. Not that I'm asking people to go comment on it. I don't want to ask for the comment. I was just like.
So here's the thing. People don't know how much work that takes to do stuff like that.
It's the number of takes to make sure that everything lines up perfectly. Because you start filming with it there and then you remove it, or you can do it the other way around. But since it was already on the desk, that's the way I did it.
Right. But they don't realize how much work goes into stuff like that. So they're like they might be like, oh, cool, but they don't. That's not really what draws their attention.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how much work went into that. I appreciated it. I thought it was really cool. I think the whole video turned out really well.
I thought so too. And
I was a little giddy when you pulled out the Trident video card and like showed it up close and stuff. It's like, oh yeah.
I responded to your comment. Like, I think every old computer that I worked on at that time came with one of those.
Oh yeah. Well, I remember because I think my first one was a Trident 256, and then when I finally got a Trident 1 meg, ooh, buddy.
So I was missing the footage and I didn't have time to go back and edit. But one of the things I did do, and I couldn't find the footage after the fact, and it was in the script. I even recorded the audio, was to say, oh, and the video card supports high resolutions in Windows, because I was running Windows 3.1 at 1024 by 768, with 16-bit color, and I couldn't find the footage, and I'm like, I don't have time to go re-record this, so I just dropped it from the.
Yeah.
I've come to realize that the little, like, if I include 99% of what I want, and then there's a little piece missing, that's not going to be the one piece that somebody's like, ooh, he included that detail. I'm gonna subscribe to this based on that one detail that he included.
Yeah. Well, that's, like, so I mean, it's really no secret the way that my content in the garage works, that I film this stuff and then weeks later is when I'm editing it for use,
Yep.
which makes it really difficult when, like, maybe audio didn't come out right, or I didn't show something, or I need another B-roll shot, because whatever that is long gone.
Yep.
So
You
that
can't
is
redo the work.
no, it's tough. Well, and then like that, like sometimes there's things that you can only do once. I mean, you can do all of it more than once, but it gets costly to do it more than once,
Yep.
So, oh, Tom Lama's out. Thanks for being here, Tom. But then there's times that there's things that I want to have in the video that I've recorded for the video. And then when I watch it, I think to myself, does anybody else want that in the video? Like, is
Does
it
that only
going
matter to me?
right? Is it going to be entertaining to anybody else? Is it going to be funny to anybody else? And then sometimes I end up clipping stuff that I really wanted to use. So, I mean,
It's like, go ahead.
well, there is a comment that I made in the video that's coming out Friday. I'll tell you what it is. I used some PB Blaster, and then I had my face down where I had used it, and I came out and I said, Blaster Company, if you're watching this, and I doubt that you are, how about adding some scent to PB Blaster so it doesn't smell like chemical? And then I went on to say something like some strawberry or a banana flavor would be nice, And I almost clipped all that out of there, and then I thought, no, because there's probably other people that agree that Blaster needs to not smell like whatever that smell in PB Blaster is. So
It smells like Pee Wee Herman.
Michael Cassell said, when did Go to Channel come back, or is that just a mod thing? No, I don't know.
I have noticed that that's been missing for a while. Like, oh, that person made a comment that's relevant. I wonder if they have a channel. It's like, well, too bad. You gotta go search them. We don't believe in convenience around here, because convenience might make you leave during the middle of a live. Oh, I see why they did it now.
It's only during our streams.
It's like, look, we know you're gonna leave. We don't want you to go to Netflix or Twitch.
At some point, YouTube is just going to randomly push you to somebody else's channel. Brian said, "Why does it have to smell like rotten cat farts?" Yeah, I don't know what that smell is of PB Blaster, and I mean, it's not the most. I mean, it's not mouse poop or mouse droppings and cinnamon, but it's not a pleasant smell. And I mean, obviously, they don't want to make it smell too good because you would eat it. But and I don't have it out here, but McGuire's glass cleaner, which is what I used to clean the beds of the printers, with great success, by the way, no sponsor. That is the greatest smelling glass cleaner I've ever experienced. So, why can't they just, and Brian said if it smelled good, people would abuse that. Well, it's possible. I mean, maybe like you can huff paint, maybe you can huff PB Blaster and the smell makes people not want to do it. But of course, the smell of paint would make me not want to do it. So I don't really know, but I've heard it's wife repellent.
I saw that Mike asked if I need a PoE adapter new in box. I don't think I have anything that uses PoE, to be completely honest. I don't believe I do.
Yeah, I think everything that I have that's PoE actually has its own injector.
Let's see. I just realized as I'm getting ready to try and do coding to make this work, I do not have a functional keyboard at the moment.
Oh yeah, you never fixed that.
I never fixed that. I don't. How am I going to do this now?
But no, those are just like the little clips that, I ramble a lot.
Not
Obviously.
you.
It's why I'm good at live streams, because I can just talk. It's a gift and a curse. But
The women don't find you handsome, but they at least find you handy, right?
they at least find me chatty. But so a couple of the early videos, I wasn't really talking in them, and then people kept saying you need to talk more in your videos. So now I pretty much don't shut up, which makes it really hard to edit, because sometimes I have to cut off in the middle of what I was saying. But
well, that's when you just remove the audio.
Yeah, but then my lips are still moving.
Well, that's when you remove your lips.
I'm still learning After Effects.
So you're more in the during effects than after effects right now.
Right. So, but yeah, it's I mean, sometimes I have to cut stuff out of there. And that's actually, I mean, I'm saving all of that. That's the stuff that will end up, behind the scenes for the Patreons. But it's still fun to put stuff in there once in a while. So, but it also, like, that's the first thing that gets clipped when, like, this video that I just finished editing, as of this, when I started editing it this morning, which I've already got, I don't know how many days into it. It was 33 minutes long, which, again, if you're Dirk, then it's fine. If you're Glenn from Fun King Garage, who hasn't established himself yet, nobody's going to want to watch a half-an-hour video.
You don't know that for sure, though. If the content's interesting enough.
I think it's interesting. I get mesmerized. That guy that does those videos, he's amazing. He's so handsome. So I said to my wife the other day, I said, "Am I crazy?" And she said, "What?" And I said, "Am I too old to be trying to start this now?"
Yes.
Like, I think I might be. I mean, I'll be 50 this year. I don't mentally think I'm 50. I feel like I'm 50, but
I don't think anybody's ever too old to start this stuff, to be completely honest.
No, I guess not. It's just all of the successful people are young, and that's not totally true either. But I mean, the older ones that are successful have been in it for so long. They were editors for Hot Rod magazine, or yeah, I'm talking about you, David Freiberger.
Who fries a burger?
So Dave Freiberger, every time that I make a bad weld, I always go, man, I don't ever want Freiberger to see this. Because every time he comes across a bad weld, he's like, look at that booger weld.
Okay, I have a functioning keyboard now.
Excellent. Uncle Ron said, wait until you feel your age. Oh, joy. I do feel my age. And Uncle Ron, based on Uncle Ron's, which, by the way, Uncle Ron is not a physician, but based on his recommendation, I started taking OsteoBiflex. And let me tell you what, day and night difference. Like, I actually had days where my back didn't hurt. And that hasn't happened since I was 18 years old, or 16 years old when I got in my car accident. Works wonderfully. But guess what else it does? It jacks your blood sugar. So if you're diabetic, you can't take that.
Oh, so you had to abandon it, or you've adjusted elsewhere?
No, I had to stop. So I'm going back to taking. I always call it turmeric, but that's not what it is. It's like turmeric.
Turmeric.
Yeah. So, because that's what I took at first, and it was working for me, and apparently that's actually helpful for blood sugar.
Doesn't turmeric jack your blood pressure though?
I'd rather jack my blood pressure than my blood sugar. No, turmeric is supposed to be good for the heart.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know. Consult with your physician. Don't take my advice. I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on YouTube.
Best not to.
So, but Brian said I'm not too old for this. Well, you know what kills me is I have a just unbelievable amount of knowledge Like I've never specialized in anything. Again, probably the ADD thing. But I know a lot about a lot of things. So um but I didn't want a how-to channel. Like I'm not looking to teach people how to do stuff, but it still lets me showcase how I do stuff.
Not very well. Just
And
kidding.
I was going to name my channel How I Do It, but somebody already took that.
This is how I do it.
Uh,
Has one of your videos ever gotten demonetized because somebody was singing?
no,
Oh, we must really suck.
I don't know if that will actually do it.
Apparently, one of Mr. Beast's videos got demonetized because they spoke the lyrics for a song out loud.
I would fight that.
So
I don't understand. I really don't understand how I can go out and turn on my car stereo and crank it up and let the whole neighborhood hear it, and that's okay. But if there's music playing in the background of my video, I
that's
get
too far.
demonetized by YouTube.
Well, you see, when a large corporation loves itself very much,
and then
no, and then
it just I don't know. It kills me. And I mean I've heard other YouTubers talk about it too. I mean I watch, I don't know if you guys watch Fab Rats, but Paul and his family are pretty awesome. I enjoy the work that they do, and I enjoy the fact that Paul never uses a torque wrench. But he had made a comment, like when I'm working in the garage, I like to listen to music, but I can't because I'll get demonetized.
yep.
So like I've bought, well, in fact, they're right here. I bought these over the ear because I can't stand in the ear earbuds. And I bought these because they have a clip. Let's see if I can do this where it's not over my black shirt, but they have a clip that goes around my ear balls here.
Second, let me switch because I cannot see you right now.
So that I don't have to like push them into my ear. Here, I'll put it up against my forehead. You can see that.
Yep.
But it's just got the old timey hearing aids. But so those I just let them rest on the outside because I can't take anything jammed into my ears. I have very small ear holes, and even the smallest, I don't know what you call those. What do you call that? That part of an earbud?
I don't know.
The part that goes in the ear hole. But even if I use the smallest ones, it still puts too much pressure on my ears and hurts. Same with those, the foam earplugs that you roll between your fingers and jam them in there.
Yep.
Before you put your muffs on to go to the gun range. Those things kill my ears. So Michael Casella said it's the bud. But you have difficulty listening, Glenn. Brian says it's the tip. You put in just the tip. So anyway. But yeah, so I bought those so that I could start listening to music. The problem is I am so, well, I'm lazy, but I'm also very spoiled. I have my Amazon Echo in the garage, who goes by the A name, same with the one that's in here. And so I control my music that way.
Yep.
So now what I have to do is I have to get a Bluetooth adapter for my garage stereo to push to my headphones so I can still control it through my Echo. Because if a song comes on I don't like it, I don't want to have to get my phone out and touch my phone with my dirty hands. Plus, a lot of times I don't have my phone on me. I usually throw it on the bench so I don't crush it because I can't afford a new one. I'd rather buy car parts than a new phone. Me and my first world problems, right?
You and your first world problems.
Has my connection dipped out at all since I talked to my mom on the phone?
I don't think sound-wise. I can't swear to the.
It must have been. It must have been every time she was trying to pull video down. I don't know. I even who, Amanda? No, it's definitely not Amanda. What was I going to say? See, I got sidetracked now. Michael Gassell said, need some electronic noise canceling earmuffs for the pupils. Yeah, I actually have a set of those ones with the microphone on them so that you can hold a conversation, but every time that the noise spikes over a certain dB, they shut off. They're pretty good. But I looked on Spotify. Big fan of Spotify. I looked on Spotify for royalty-free, copyright-free music, DMCA-free music, so that I could play something in the background and then not worry about getting demonetized. So 2 problems happen with that. 1, the music all sucks. No offense to those who make it. Good on you. Thanks for releasing it. It's not for me. The other problem too is if I do that and I record the audio, then it causes me issues when I'm editing because I might not want that song. Plus, if I have to clip it up, then the song is clipped up.
Yeah.
So headphones it is. Now I did get a set of earbuds that they're super small. Like they fit just in the little squirrely of your ear there. So I'm going to try those. But because a lot of times I'll just put in one so I can still hear what's going on otherwise, in case crap's hitting the fan. Sometimes literally, if you watched my last video, that could have hurt me. That could have put an eye out. I should have had safety goggles on.
Oh, the disc?
Yeah. So that's
Harbor Freight?
It's not just a disc. It is, if you think about a Scotch-Brite pad, like kind of how a Scotch-Brite pad is put together.
Yep.
But make it like a 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch thick. So what, 13 to 19 millimeters?
Yep.
Thick. And hard as a rock. Like no give to it at all. Just solid and abrasive. That's what that disc was made out of. It'll take some paint off though, I'll tell you that much.
You see that?
Oh yeah, look at that. It doesn't go that fast.
There's a decimal place. It's actually just going between 0.1 megahertz and 9.9 megahertz.
Oh.
I don't think I'm going to be able to lock this in a good way where, I mean, that's
Uncle Ron said,
okay.
invest in hearing aids for only $6,300. You could have super tiny earbuds sized for your ears. Well, there's companies out there that will make you earbuds molded to your ears. But again, I would rather buy car parts. And my kids like to eat. I don't know. Gotta worry about those smallest humans that I'm personally responsible for. Even though Xander's not small anymore. Glenn, check out the Shocks Open Run Pro. I can't stand in-ear headphones, and these are awesome. I'm going to copy that and look it up right now. Right now.
So we want it to go from 30 to less than equal to 66. And we're going to be greater than 33.
You spelled Shocks wrong. It's S-H-O-K-Z. Well, that's interesting, but I don't think I'd want that bar coming across my forehead like that. Oh, I guess they go the other way. That's interesting. I wonder, are they audible outside? They send sound through your bones. Open ear comfort. Well, they're $179.95, so I'm going to do the right thing and pretend like I didn't ever look at those. Do they come in yellow? No. Black, blue, pink, and beige. Bummer. If they came in yellow, I'd be all over it. I guess black it would be. I don't have to look into that. Thank you for that, Sergio. They're cool, but they have no bass. Most headphones don't. Like most earbuds don't have bass.
And I'm all about that bass.
I don't need no trouble. I don't need like the greatest sound. I just want to listen to music while I'm working. I work 99.9% of the time by myself. So yeah. And then sometimes in the video, like you might see me, like I'm working on stuff. You may see me like talking to somebody while I'm working, but I cut that audio out. That's because my neighbor came over. And he's actually has been or will be in some of the videos. Hoping to train him to sling a camera once in a while. But Uncle Ron said I had bone conductive headset for bike riding. They're pretty good. So there's no sound outside of them. Like there's no chance that my camera would pick up audio, I guess is what I'm getting at. Even though I have to do a slight level of noise correction on all my audio anyway to get rid of the fan noise, because I absolutely can't work without a fan. I will die. Oh, those are interesting. Why they got to be so much money? Now, there's another one. What's the difference? And maybe some of you know and some of you don't. What's the difference between the pros, the Open Run Pro, and the Open Run? Because the Open Run is $50 cheaper. They don't come in yellow either. They come in red and blue and black. It's amazing how many things don't come in yellow. Yeah, and I don't want to do over the ear because that'll just look ridiculous as I'm filming. Like, I mean, if I was doing a time lapse of doing some detailing or something, that'd be one thing. But I like to just leave them in even as I'm narrating and talking. So. You guys got to be more clear with your answers. They send that sounds through your bones. I got a huge cranium. That's going to be some intense sound. See, now I got to do research. I'm going to add this. I'm going to add these to my shopping list. I will put these in the don't you wish you had more money list. The sad part is the amount that I've spent on cheap, because these were only like, I don't know, 15 or 20 bucks. They sound great. It just, again, just a little too much pressure in my ear hole. Let's see, that would go into garage stuff. Actually, I think that would be more filming stuff. I'm going to put that with filming, because I don't really need those for the garage. I need those to be able to film. Uncle Ron's sending me stuff. You know, Uncle Ron, you got a wrench by your name. You could share with the class. I mean, unless it's a secret. Oh, he's sending me knockoffs. Still don't come in yellow. Well, that's a much better price, though. $40. And they're prime, so if they suck, I can send them back. Perfect, Uncle Ron. I'll get those ordered. Michael Cassell said, most people do not like the recorded sound of their voice because it lacks the vibration that goes through your bones. Well, that makes sense. I don't dislike the sound of my voice because my voice is amazing.
Everybody dislikes the sound of my voice.
You should absolutely cash in on that, James. Like, you should start doing like voiceovers and stuff. I think it would be brilliant. Maybe I'll have you voice over one of my videos one day.
Just to see how much worse it does.
Oh, Uncle Ron, so I looked it up on my phone. I guess I could share it so that everybody else could see it. Yeah, so you know, I think we talked about this a little bit last week too, but when it comes to hobbies and things, I'm a like 120% kind of person.
Yeah.
So now that I've had to do my own editing and my own filming, like now I'm buying all kinds of trinkets for the camera and better clamps for the lighting and accessories for the GoPros. And then, oh, that shuttle that I shared with you guys with the buttons and stuff, I love that thing. Worth every penny. I mean, I didn't pay anything for it. I got it with reward points, but worth the $99 they're asking for it. It has increased my editing speed. I won't say like 1,000% or anything, but it's increased it probably 25%. And that'll go faster as I get more used to it. What I want to do is figure out, because all the buttons are the same and they're smooth. So I want to figure out how to put a nub on one of them. Like I'm thinking like just a little drop of hot glue or, you know, something like that, just so that I can reference a button to know where my hands are. Otherwise I have to look. And then I still have to customize. There's a couple buttons that I have programmed for stuff that I don't really use. So I want to change it. So again, less time going back to the keyboard. So, hey, Paul, everything's going good, buddy. Sorry, I got sidetracked with where I was going. I have to go to my wish lists. I'm going to share this with everybody. Hang in there. Streaming stuff. That thing. Share an affiliate link. So if anybody buys anything, I make some shekels off of it. All right. So this is Paul said, hi, Brother James.
Hello.
This is the link that Uncle Ron sent me. Well, no, that's my affiliate link for what Uncle Ron sent me. But same basic concept. $40. Bluetooth, hi-fi stereo with mic. That's pretty cool. And then all I got to do is figure out how to put the A thing on there, the echo.
Okay, I think the code part of this is done.
Well, get it on camera and let it rip.
Let's see. I'm going to try and pan this down. And then I'll move this here. My cable may not be long enough to do it. Okay, let me just bring up the camera so I can see what you guys see.
Uncle Ron said, so you can answer your phone like I answer my phone. I made the mistake and answered my phone the other night when Uncle Ron called me. 2 hours. 2 hours I was on the phone with Uncle Ron. But I only talk to him like once every 6 months or so. And then 2 days later, Walter called me.
I was talking to Walter the other day.
Talking to Walter the other day.
Okay, so, oof, I keep bouncing my head off of the camera mount, which is why we're getting the jitters. This is just not. The problem is the headset I'm wearing adds so much extra height to my head. I'm so used to being able to duck underneath this, and now there's an inch and a bit more or less clearance. Okay, can I bend this enough that it'll?
Uncle Ron said, was Walter longer? Actually, no, I was only on the phone with Walter for about an hour.
Okay, so if I haven't tested this yet, other than to know that it's displaying 66 hertz. I'm gonna try and adjust so because it keeps auto adjusting the brightness on that camera.
Yeah, it's real bright.
Let's go ahead and no, it's not the right camera. Configure video exposure.
All right, I have another question on these headphones while James is doing that.
Is that better?
Oh yeah.
You guys can clearly see it now, right?
So these kind of headphones that play through your bones, they don't put like a lot of pressure on the side of your head, do they? I mean, it's comfortable, yeah? All right, go ahead, let it rip.
I just need a way to ground this out, but I think I can just do this piece of solder there, maybe. And
Uncle Ron said, when we're in the room together in the same room, how long do we talk? The whole time. The whole time.
Okay, so the turbo is currently off, right? So then you turn turbo on.
Nice.
Then you turn turbo back off.
I thought, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, I thought when you turned off turbo, it went to 4.77 megahertz.
So I think the one that I've been doing testing on this guy, and I think it goes down to like 9 or 8. It's not exactly. I just picked 2 arbitrary numbers and put them in, and then they're stored in a variable, so I can adjust them however you like. I also feel like I want it to count up a little bit faster than that. Let's do, because I do like the more active approach.
Yeah, than just having it one or the other. Oh, now it's going back in time.
88 miles per hour.
Oh, I might have to order these.
And then I want it to adjust a little bit quicker here. So let's go ahead and change it to a 200 millisecond delay. But
so they come in black, blue, or purple, but the black ones are actually gray. And the brand on them is vape only. Is this also a vape thing? A vape pen?
Well, there you go. I still managed to finish the project I wanted to do with 4 minutes to spare.
Good job.
Slow it down.
And you were late.
Speed it up. So if we're actually doing it, because like the processor, like I said, is actually running at 25 megahertz. So if I set the maximum to 25, we'll say the min's going to run at, I don't know, 9 megahertz.
Well, you want to use both sides, so I'd go 10. Unless you're going to do like 0.8, but I'd go 10.
I don't think, I know that it can have a decimal place on it. I don't think the library I'm using shows it.
No, I wouldn't go all the way down to 4.7.
Let's go upload that. Turbo is currently off, so it should display 25. And then, okay, turn in turbo off. down to 10, up to 25, down to 10.
Yeah, but I thought it's a 33 megahertz processor.
Right, but so what I was saying earlier is that it turns out the board's missing the pins to set 33 megahertz, and so it's hard locked to 25. So it's running the 33 and at 25. So one of the things I'm going to do during this project is repopulate those pins and see if it works.
Interesting.
Because the board may be fully capable of running all the way up to a 66 megahertz, because according to the manual it can. But these ones might have been used in a school, and they might have been set out so there's like no upgradability. Like you have to replace the computer when.
Or it might have been right in between a model change. Like,
Yep.
you know, like they were mass producing them to be 25 megahertz machines.
We should probably speed this up.
That's pretty cool. Good job.
Yay, James. Everybody tune into Print and Pray.
Print and Pray. That's all right. When I first met you, I kept calling your channel Plug and Play.
To be fair, my original opening had the words plug and play in it, and then I backspaced out of it and changed it to Print and Play as part of my intro. I had a lot of silly ideas about what made a good video back then. And it turns out nobody cares. I will say my retro channel with roughly 10% of the subscribers of my main channel gets the same number of views on a video in the first 24 to 48 hours. Within like 10, we'll say.
Yeah.
So I just need my one good video, and then I'll go viral. And then I'll be able to pump out videos like 2 a week for everybody for their entertainment.
That's right. I don't really want that. I mean, like I want to grow, but I don't want it to be crazy. I want to do it full time, but I don't want anybody to expect me to release a video, 2 videos a week or a video a day like some of these people do. I guess at the point you're big enough that you can have a team of editors and multiple people slinging cameras, then it's different.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever grow to that point. I would like to grow to the point where I can have. So Kay wants to do my social media management if we ever get to the point where she can concentrate on that. And then I would like to have a dedicated video editor. And I think if I did that, I would basically put 2 videos out a week, one on hardware and one on software.
Yeah.
Because I have pages of ideas for videos that I'm going to cover over time. And luckily with the retro channel, time isn't of the essence to cover something. But.
Well, right. Yeah, because you're not trying to beat everybody else to the punch.
Yeah. So the only thing I have to find out is the Uno 5-volt, what's the word I'm looking for? Not resistant. Basically, I'm hoping I can pipe in the 5 volts that goes to the turbo LED right into the input on one of these.
It's got a regulator, a voltage regulator.
Yeah, so some of them, the chip itself is only 3.3 volts on the inputs. Like that's one of the, not the issues, but that's one of the things with the Pico is that you can't pipe 5 volts into one of the inputs. You'll blow it. It's only 3.3 volts.
Oh, you're talking about going into one of the gigapins.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, I don't think that's voltage regulated at all. I think you have to go through the barrel connector.
So not for powering. So if I can, what I'm hoping is that it's. See, I had the word literally there for a second.
Oh, you're talking about the logic of, like the logic from the computer.
Yeah, so the turbo LED gets sent to 5 volts. So if this is 5 volt tolerant for the inputs, I can just connect the wire that goes to the LED also into the input on it, and then when you hit turbo, it triggers the switch
without a resistor. Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise I have to either get a logic level converter that takes 5 volts down to the 3.3 volts, or I have to build a resistor circuit that does voltage splitting and sends part of it.
Ron said you could put a relay on the relay bridge, 2 data connections for on and off. That's a lot to go through for that.
I'll just
Well,
put a light sensor so that when the light for the turbo thing lights up, that triggers it.
yeah, that's
I'm not going to do that.
that would be valid.
It would do the job, but at what cost? The cost of a lot of electronics, I guess. So the only thing I didn't get done that I wanted to get done was actually designing the replacement 3 1/4 or 3.5 inch bay cover that's going to house this. But we'll see too. I may have an extra one that fits into it, in which case I'll just probably cut it and clean it. I also think I might have to put a like a tint over top of that because it is pretty bright.
Yeah, either like a fogged white one or red.
Unless, and I don't think it will, it might run on 3.3 volts and be less intense.
Can you not turn the intensity down in the software?
No, this is power. Like it's not that
gotcha.
complicated a display.
I gotcha.
I think that's less bright, but I don't know if it's going to work. I'm pretty sure it's actually not working. Yeah. That's so broken. Like it's still executing the code. Well, obviously because the Arduino is not affected by that, but just go ahead and swap that back to 5 volts. And too bad it was working.
Well, it is 6:33.
Do you know where your kids are?
I know where both of mine are. They're on the internet.
They do love the internet, those kids.
Yeah, they're all about the video games now. Tom Lama said, cheeseburger and corn on the cob for dinner. Am I the only one who saves the corn for dessert? I love corn. It's very starchy, though.
One corner cake. Never mind. I'm not going to make that joke. I'll make the joke after the stream ends. Everybody else can just guess what I was going to say. Do I have anything to plug? Because that's always the next question. I did release a new video on Friday on the Retro channel. So if you've got a chance, go check it out. I am working on 2 new videos for the main channel, but they are time intensive and I'm waiting for parts to show up. But that should be coming out.
Which is more time
soon.
intensive.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've always got content coming for the Retro channel because I stocked up on all the things I need to do all my videos for the next, I don't know, hopefully until I'm successful. My goal is 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. My momentum has died off considerably. I was getting 50 to 80 subscribers a month for a bit. Now my last month was 15. So
I was getting like 1 a day. I'm getting like 1 every 3 days, but
I went 5 days without gaining any and then lost 2 in the same day. But then luckily I dropped the video and I regained the 2 plus 3 more.
Well, and then I watch my stats on Social Blade.
Yeah.
And I pulled it up the other day. I've been on a C+ rating for quite a while now, quite a few weeks. And I pulled it up the other day and it was B-, and I'm like, yeah. And then like an hour later it was back to C+. So I must be like just right on the border.
I wonder what mine is right now. Is that on the garage one you're talking about?
Yeah.
The only one you care about anymore.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take a look. Socialblade.com.
Oh yeah, in fact I lost a subscriber today.
That was me.
Sad. But
okay, so on Print and Play, I am C+.
Excellent.
And I gain on average 2 a day on that channel. On Print and Play Retrospective, let's see, Print and Play. Also, I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to change names of the channel. It's also a C+ channel, and it says I've gained 18 in the past 30 days. So I was playing with the idea of, there's an episode of Star Trek called Yesterday's Enterprise. So I was playing with the idea of calling it Yesterday's Technobabble. because it's all old
Interesting.
tech. But I don't want to jump on a name change just because I'm like, oh, that's somewhat clever, because I don't want to be doing this again a year from now. So I thought maybe I'd go Glenn with 2 N's, because I'm not like a serial killer as my channel name. But then I know a Glenn with 1 N who's not a serial killer, so
Well, he claims to not be a serial killer. We don't really know.
that's exactly what a serial killer would say. Good times and happy days.
Absolutely. So, well, I released a video a week ago Friday, and I have another one coming out this Friday. And I'm excited to get everybody's feedback. And again, please feel free to be brutally honest. Like, don't be mean just to be mean, but I love feedback. And if you don't want to leave the feedback publicly, you know how to get a hold of me. Glenn with 2 N's, Fun King 3D or Fun King Garage. Either one of them will get you there.
Don't listen to him. The last time I tried to give him good feedback, he said he was going to kick my cat.
You know what's really funny is, like, James always asks me if he can give me feedback. Like, what about Glenn with 3 N's? I am always open to feedback. I am probably one of the thickest skinned people you will ever meet. You can't come at me, bro. Like, just don't try to go after my family, because I'll hunt you down. And I mean my immediate family, not the global family. But no, so I do. I mean, I always want feedback. Sometimes you're going to give me feedback that I already know. Like James said, your audio sucked in the last one. I'm like, yeah, I know it was bad. But again, I couldn't go back and redo it because
we did discuss methods of trying to fix it, and they weren't going to work.
Yeah, it just wasn't going to happen for that video. But man, have I learned so much. For those of you who use Adobe Premiere Pro, I found out why it's got the Pro on there. They retired Premiere and they went to Premiere Pro now, like some time back. But so you have to put the Pro on there. Whatever. You can actually record voiceover right into Adobe Premiere Pro, which is pretty amazing. The problem is if you don't use the same microphone, it sounds different. So I usually just run down here to the garage and film my voiceovers into the camera so that it's the same echo, it's the same ambient noise. Yeah, you guys don't need to know all that.
If I don't record my audio on the same day and I go to record extra audio the next day, you can tell the difference.
Well,
I don't know what it
your
is.
demeanor is different.
Yeah.
Like your energy level is always different.
Yeah, I don't have a great ability, because like I try to put on a more professional voice, but I think it's a little different every time. Right, so I do "Welcome back, fellow time travelers," and then I go to record the next day, and it sounds like slightly different, and then it's like, well, that's so clearly, and then like I don't know what it is, but it's like, do you remember in Talladega Nights where he's like, I don't know what to do with my hands, and they like keep coming up like this, and while he's talking,
Yeah,
you remember this? And he's like grabbing the microphone and stuff. It's like I go to record my regular voice and I don't remember what my regular voice sounds like, and I end up putting on a voice, and then I can't match that voice later on. So Kayleen's offered to record my voiceovers just to see how that would go.
Interesting.
Then I'll definitely get the voice doesn't match body.
Oh, that'd be so much fun.
Mike, yes, I would love that. I would adore that. I would have a hard
Maybe
time not pulling CPUs out of that and putting them into machines, but I would restrain. That would end up being a permanent display piece somewhere in my video setup. Probably on my retro wall here. It could go right in that spot above the Mac SE. So yes, 100%.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yes, a million times yes.
Uncle Ron said her voice is deeper than yours. Oh, Mark said 3D print some baby hands and do that.
I don't need to 3D print them. I bought them.
Oh, that's just brilliant.
Mike, message me on Twitter. Send me an email. However you want to get in touch. I appreciate it.
Oh, all right. Well, let's wrap this up because I want to go eat. So tune in and watch James's videos. Tune in and watch my videos. If you haven't yet subscribed to me, I don't know why not. I don't mean this channel. I mean the other one, Fun King Garage. FunKingGarage.com, YouTube.com/FunKingGarage. I'm building up a plethora of merchandise. I've got more stickers and stuff in, so that's fun. No, shirts still aren't available. I mean, they are available. They're just not on the website yet. But that's only because of time. It's all about the editing. Man, I put a lot of hours into the editing, but I'm having a good time doing it, and I guess that's what's important. And I'm kind of good at it. Maybe I'll do it professionally.
But then you'll hate it even more.
Yeah, I don't want to do it professionally. So, Paul Cumber said, "Hey James, when did the Hot Wheel come out with a computer?" That was in the early '90s.
Yeah, that was. I think
No,
there were
late '90s.
Yeah, they were like a Celeron 400, 433, something like that. Do you say '90s? No.
Late '90s.
I don't.
You think it was into the 2000s? I have to think
No,
about when
no,
I
you're
had my
probably
computer
right.
start.
I'm going through it because the AMD Athlon and the XPs released around turn of the century, and that would have been a Celeron 400. So that's, yeah, you're probably 98, 99.
Uh, 1999. Patriot Computers produced a line of pre-built Hot Wheel and Barbie branded PCs for kids under the license.
Yeah,
from Mattel.
I had to run through the CPU history in my head to get into that.
I always think about where I was working at the time. So
I could have gotten one of each of them for free when I was still working at the tech place in my old hometown, and I turned them down. And now I kind of wish I had, because number one, they look neat. Number two, they're worth a mint at this point.
Oh, really?
Linus Tech Tips did a video where they got some of them and like overhauled them and like I think built like a stealth gaming PC into them, and then all of a sudden it was like $600, $700 for the tower.
Wow.
So, and there's a guy that he's got a full collection because it was out long enough that there was 2 or 3 different CRTs released for the Hot Wheels version. So he built himself a PC into a damaged case with 3 monitors, and he's got 3 CRT monitors like spanning triple display, and they're all the CRT ones like that. And then I think he ended up incorporating also a Shrek television set because
Nice.
it had composite video out. So
Brilliant.
But yeah.
All right.
Okay, we should probably wrap it up. We ran 15 minutes late, and I wasn't 15 minutes late today, so I feel like
I was
paid my
on
penance.
time. So
Well, I had a little nap.
it was the bonus time. So this is the part where I say thank you very much to each and every one of you for tuning in, whether you're watching live or watching it as a replay. We appreciate you being here. We love each and every one of you. These streams would be useless without you.
Ow.
We need you here. We need you to bring a friend. So until next time, as always,
Print on.
print on.